I'm going to pretend for a moment that you don't know anything about the theme parks here in Orlando other than Disney. So let me tell you about Universal Studios. Universal Studios has two major theme parks here in Orlando, plus a water park, plus a shopping district. That's Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, City Walk, and Volcano Bay. Universal is about to up their game though and open a third theme park. Epic Universe, opening in 2025, is going to be a game changer for the landscape here in Orlando. This is going to be a major deal. Whether or not you've ever been to Universal or not, you're gonna wanna come soon. I know plenty of people who consider themselves Disney people that have never come to Universal, even though maybe they were curious because of some of the IPs here. We've got Jurassic Park, we've got Harry Potter, we've got Shrek, we've got Minions, we've got Transformers, we've got Fast and the Furious, we've got Men in Black, and you go on and on and on. Epic Universe is gonna take all of that, flip it on its head, and raise the bar. I'm telling you guys, soon your vacation is going to be split between Disney and Universal, or it might just be Universal. So today I'm going to explain to you all the differences between Universal and Disney and how to make that conversion if you've never been, because I'm telling you, you're coming to Epic Universe. I'm going to start with the last theme park open, but we're going to start there today first. This is Islands of Adventure. So Islands of Adventure opened May 28, 1999, along with City Walk as part of an expansion that converted Universal Studios Florida, which was the original theme park by itself, and it transported into the Universal Orlando Resort. Islands of Adventure has 18 total attractions, 5 roller coasters, and 3 water rides. Islands of Adventure is modeled after a journey of exploration. So I'm not gonna go over a complete history today, but just so you have a little bit of knowledge going into it, there are 7 islands here at Islands of Adventure. The first island you come to is the port of entry. Then working around the park, to the left, you have Marvel Superhero Island, Toon Lagoon, Skull Island, Jurassic Park, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, the Lost Continent, and Seuss Landing. I'm gonna link to my playlist of all of my Universal videos. I have tons on this channel for you to go back and watch, and you can get a better idea of Universal if you're not familiar. Today, we're gonna talk about the differences between Disney and Universal and the things that you need to know and the reasons why you should come visit Universal before you go to Epic Universe for that very first time. So just like any vacation that you take, especially if you come to Disney, you're fully aware of how to plan that Disney vacation. There are the same kind of resources available for Universal. UniversalOrlando.com is your source for all the information that you could ever want to book your trip. They have resorts, they have transportation. It's just like Disney, except it's just not Disney. They have the same type of amenities that you're used to at your Disney vacation, but here at Universal, it's just slightly different. So let's talk about tickets for a second. We're just gonna talk about one-day tickets. Say you just kind of come for one day. How much would it cost you? So a one-day, one-park ticket for adults is $119 and $114 for kids. If you wanted a park-to-park ticket, it's $174 for adults and $169 for kids. Say you wanted one day just at the water park at Volcano Bay, it's $80 for adults and $75 for kids. Say you wanted to go for 3 days, what are you looking at? Currently, right now, you're looking at adult tickets from $105.33 a day, $102 for kids. For a 2-park 3-day ticket or a 3-park 3-day ticket, $118.67. That gets you into Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. If you only wanted to do 1 park per day, but for 3 days, then you're looking at $85.33 per day for adults or $82 for kids. Now this, again, are for 3-day passes. The more days you get, the less expensive it's gonna cost you. The other option is for annual passes. So if you're a Florida resident, or if you're going to come to Orlando a lot and you think you're going to come to Universal, annual passes are definitely the least expensive option, and there are tons of perks. If you decided to do that, there are 4 different versions. There's a seasonal pass, a power pass, a preferred pass, and a premier pass. All of those have different perks and cost different amounts. The least expensive one is starting at $325, going all the way up to $790 for the more expensive one. Some of the perks include, right now they're doing a 3 months free promo, so you get it for actually 15 months for the price of 12 months. You get park to park, you get free Universal Express after 4 with Premier Pass, which is very valuable. That pass also gets you free valet parking, which is the reason that I keep that one, because that one is a real value to me. You get early park admission with some of the passes, you get hotel room discounts, and you get discounts on food and merchandise. So don't let all these ticket types intimidate and confuse you. There's plenty of information out there, but once you start to plan out your trip, you'll have a better idea of how many days you need to spend there.
Dreaming of a magical vacation to Central Florida or a cruise getaway? Look no further than Sunshine Tree Travel. We're your experts in booking trips to Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, and amazing cruise line packages. Our experienced team offers personalized service, and the best part? No fees for our services. Let us make your travel dreams come true. Contact us today at www.sunshinetreetravel.com. Sunshine Tree Travel, your gateway to unforgettable vacations.
All of this information is going to change once Epic Universe opens, because Epic is going to change the game. From what I know right now, Epic is not going to be a one-day park. Epic is going to be something that you're going to want to go to more than one day. So that poses the question, can you do Disney and Universal in the same trip? Well, I think it depends on how you prioritize. Of course you can do both, but can you do a whole week at Universal? Not maybe currently, but once Epic Universe opens up, and you go to the water park, absolutely. Universal can be a one-week trip. Something that probably is important to note is that if you are a guest of a certain size, there will be more difficulty for you getting onto attractions here at Universal. They're not quite as forgiving for the poo-sized guests. And sometimes it's not, I can't say it's a weight. Sometimes it's a height. Sometimes it's how big your calves are, your thighs are, your midsection. Even sometimes your chest, because their restraint systems are pretty unforgiving. So for some of the major coasters, if you are a guest of a larger size or a certain size, there may be more difficulties. There are resources online where you can go and find out information about this and find out, based on your size and your body dimensions, how you'll fit onto these attractions. I would suggest before coming here, if you're concerned about it, that you go investigate those resources online. One of the other big differences at Universal, that's a plus in Universal's column, is this little baby right here. This is a refillable mug. You're saying to yourself, Scott, hey, Disney has refillable mugs. Yes, they do, but their refillable mugs are only good at the resorts. These are good at the parks. So you pay one price, it's about $12 or $14, and then you use it all day long. Then if you bring it back the next day, you pay to recharge it. It's like $8 or $9, but it's unlimited drinks all day, and there are Coke Freestyle machines everywhere. I'm gonna put up a little map that shows all the locations, but you can see by the amount of locations that this is a heck of a value. If you're bringing a family, you can all share one mug, or you can get a discount on more than one if you purchase more than one at a time. But let me tell you what, I really wish Disney had this, but they don't. Universal's got them, and it is a heck of a value.
So let's talk briefly about the special events every year at Universal. So there's 3 major events yearly. The first is Halloween Horror Nights. This is their annual world-renowned Halloween event. It typically runs from mid-September through the end of October. And this features usually 10 haunted houses. Some are based on iconic horror films, and then others are original concepts created by Universal. There's scare zones scattered throughout the park, fog-filled streets filled with scare actors ready to jump at you. Halloween Horror Nights offers various ticket options, including general admission, express passes for shorter wait times, and exclusive VIP experiences. Next up is Mardi Gras. This is a celebration that typically takes place from February to April. Universal transforms into a party inspired by New Orleans Mardi Gras, but also a worldwide carnival. There's parades featuring floats, team members in elaborate costumes, tossing beads to the crowd. There's live concerts, and then there's an array of Cajun, Creole, and worldwide food booths. There's Mardi Gras concerts included with your park admission, and there's premium experiences like the Mardi Gras float experience, where you get to ride on a float and throw beads to the crowd. Finally, the holiday season brings around the Christmas celebration. This runs from late November to early January. The park transforms with millions of lights, festival decorations, holiday-themed entertainment. Hogwarts Castle is illuminated with projections set to holiday music. The Grinchmas Holiday Spectacular brings Dr. Seuss's tale to life. Throughout the park, guests can indulge in seasonal treats like hot chocolate, desserts, and traditional holiday foods. While admission to Universal Studios Florida grants access to the park during regular operating hours, Halloween Horror Nights, on the other hand, requires a separate ticket. Prices will vary depending on the event and the type of ticket purchased, with options available for express and VIP tours.
All right, so here's another difference. You're going to notice outside of all the major attractions, and especially the roller coasters, you're going to find lockers. Now, the lockers are complimentary for a certain amount of time, but you are not going to be able to ride any of the rides here at Universal with anything metal in your pocket. To make sure, they're going to send you through metal detectors. That means no phones, no keys, no wallets if there's metal in it, or anything that's going to set off that metal detector. So what you'll do is you'll go up to the locker, you'll scan your park pass, you put your stuff in the locker, keep your park pass with you, ride the attraction, and then come back out, use your park pass to unlock that locker and retrieve your items. I think some people find it more difficult, especially now, to actually stand in a line without staring at their phone. But here at Universal, you're going to have to bring back the art of conversation because you will not be able to have your phone. You're also going to notice 3 entrances outside of most major attractions. You're going to have the standard standby queue, you're going to have a single rider line, and then you're going to have a Universal Express queue. So let's talk about Express. Actually, you know what? Let's sit down. This is going to take a minute. If you're unfamiliar with the term Express Pass, that's Universal's version of like a Fast Pass system. It's similar to Disney Genie in that it is a system that you pay for that allows you faster access onto the attractions. Now, it differs from Genie in a lot of ways. Let's start with the first way, and that is price. So, for instance, a Disney Genie reservation for any particular day will run you somewhere $20, $25 per person. Here at Universal, a one-day, 2-park Express Pass is going to run you, and they yield pricing here. So just like Disney, it depends upon the day. It depends upon if it's a special event, more expensive on the weekends, during the holidays. But we'll just use today as an example. A 2-park Universal Express Pass is $94.99. And if you want an unlimited 2-park Universal Express Pass, it's $124.99. Now this is per person. So say you have a family of 4 and you want the unlimited express, that's an additional $500 in addition to the cost that you paid for your entrance. So I know what you're saying. You're like, whoa, that is way too expensive for what I'm getting. But is it really based on actually what you're getting? Because unlike Genie, where you have to pay for the Genie, and then you have to book each attraction. You can only book them one at a time, and it's time dependent, and you may or may not even get the attractions that you actually want. And then not all attractions are Genie. With Express, you don't have to book anything. With the single Express, you can ride all of those attractions one time. With the Unlimited Express, you can ride them as many times as you want to. You go straight up the Express line, ride the attraction, come back out, get right back in the Express line as many times as you want. Just like Disney, where they have individual lightning lane attractions like Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Universal has rides that are not Express. I'd say 90% of the attractions are. Like the big one that I can think of off the top of my head is Hagrid's. Hagrid's does not have Express. And that's just simply because it is too popular an attraction year over year. Eventually, I think they will make it Express. For the longest time, Velocicoaster was also not Express, but now you can use Express with Velocicoaster. So the price tag is steep, but really what you're getting for the money is you are getting a true front of the line pass. Universal's is definitely easier to use. Value for dollar, I guess it depends upon how valuable your time is. If you have one day in each one of these parks, then is it worth it? Absolutely, because you can ride every attraction in a day and not wait in those long lines. If you have a week, maybe not, maybe one day. There's one other thing that we haven't talked about yet. If you're staying here at Universal, if you're staying at a premier hotel on property, that's Portofino Bay, that's Hard Rock, and that's Royal Pacific. If you're staying at one of those hotels, then you get Express Pass for free. It comes with your hotel. Well, it's not for free. You're paying for it in the price of that hotel because those rooms are not cheap, but it's an included perk that they didn't have to give you. So that is a big plus for staying here on property and staying in one of those premier hotels. We'll talk more about all the other hotels here in a moment and what you get and what you don't get with those hotels. So Universal has 4 different kinds of resorts. Unlike Disney's 3, they add an extra tier. They have value, prime value, preferred, and premier. Here's the hotels in each category. Value is Universal's Endless Summer Resort, Surfside Inn and Suites, and Dockside Inn and Suites. Prime value is Cabana Bay and Aventura. Preferred is Sapphire Falls, and premier is Portofino Bay, Hard Rock Hotel, and Royal Pacific. So some of the things that are included with your hotels, the premier hotels, you're going to get that free unlimited Universal Express. So that's like $150 value per person that's in your room. If you have 4 people in your room, I mean, that's a $600 value per day. So that's a heck of a value. Now, you're paying a lot for those rooms, but it's probably worth looking at how much you would pay individually for those Express Passes and a lesser expensive room, and the cost of that hotel may come down in price at that point. All the hotels get early park admission to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter up to 1 hour before park opening. There's complimentary transportation to the theme parks and City Walk. They use water taxis, shuttle buses, and walking paths. The other thing, sort of like Disney, you can charge all of your purchases to your hotel room key, and they'll just put that on your hotel bill. And then also, if you buy things in the shops, you don't have to carry them around with you all day. They'll ship them back to your hotel for you.
So let's talk a little bit about Universal Studios Florida Park. This is the first park to open here in Orlando, opened June 7th, 1990. It's owned and operated by NBC Universal, which is a subsidiary of Comcast. It's going to feature numerous rides, attractions, shows. Originally, it was designed to function as both a theme park and a working production studio, but now it's just a theme park, no more actual working production facilities, even though they still have all those sound stages in the back, which are now used for special events and Halloween Horror Nights. So there's a couple different areas here in Universal Studios. The first and current newest, is Minion Land on Illumination Avenue. There you're going to find Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, Illuminations, Villain Con Blast. There's a New York section, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which rumor is currently that it won't be around much longer. Jimmy Fallon, Race Through New York, Revenge of the Mummies, Transformers is here. There's a San Francisco section, Fast and Furious is in that section. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. There's a World Expo section that has Men in Black, Alien Attack. There's a Springfield section, which again, we don't really know what the future holds for Springfield, but currently it is an area of the park that has 2 attractions, a restaurant, and a couple of like game areas. There's a Hollywood section, which has animal actors on location, E.T. Adventure, Bourne Stuntacular, and then the horror makeup show is also in Hollywood. And then brand new this year is about to open DreamWorks Land. In that land there's going to be a couple of different things. There's a roller coaster, Shrek Swamp is going to be back there, Poe's Kung Fu Training Camp, along with the DreamWorks Imagination Celebration sort of theater stage show.
Universal, like Disney, also has an app, and that app will let you do a lot of the same things that Disney's app will do. Some not quite as good, and it's not quite as robust, but it's still a fairly good app. So if you click into the Universal app, you're going to come to the main page. One of the first few things that you're going to see is wait times. You can buy tickets. There's a map. You can order food and drinks, has show times and park hours. As you go down, it has some things to do, special offers, and then some just shortcuts. You can contact guest services, and there is an FAQ. So if you come down here to the bottom and you go to the map section, it'll show you right where you are currently. You can pull out and go into another section. It does it by land. You can click on an icon and see what item you're looking at, and then how to get there if you need it. Also, like Jurassic World Velocicoaster, it's showing me that it is a 50-minute wait. You can also hard it so you can come back to it faster next time. If you go into the one that just says wait times, it'll bring up a list of just the wait times for all the attractions. Now you can filter this, you can sort it, you can categorize it, say you just want the thrill rides. So there you go, Transformers 10 minutes, Harry Potter Forbidden Journey 15 minutes, so on and so forth. Under the park hours, it will show you today's park hours. So today, for instance, looks like everything closes at 7, and then City Walk closes at midnight. And then if you go scroll down a little bit more, it'll take you to the monthly operating calendar where you can check hours for each day. So directly behind me is one of the ways in which you can move park to park between Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. The most obvious way is that you can go out of the front of each park and then walk over to the other one through City Walk. But the better option is from both parks, you can take the Hogwarts Express. They transfer guests from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley here at Universal Studios. This is an attraction in and of itself, and the only way to experience this attraction is to have a park-to-park ticket. So I highly recommend that if you're coming, that you get the park-to-park, not only because you're going to want to see both parks, but because the only way that you can see this attraction is to have that park-to-park ticket. So that brings us to the question, how many days do I need to dedicate to Universal Studios in order to see everything? Here's my take, and you sort of make it apply to your family. If your family is the kind that likes to see everything, and likes to do everything, and likes to take their time, then you need at least 1 day in each park, plus an extra day just to go back and hit the stuff that you weren't able to, or you want to hit again. So for the 2 theme parks, I would say 3 days minimum. Plus, if you want to go to Volcano Bay, that's another day. Then you're looking at 4 days. If you're the type of family that wants to come and just hit the highlights, you can, with Express, hit the highlights in both parks and do it in 1 day. Now that is fast and furious. That is with doing some research. That is not walking in here blind and not knowing where you're going or have a game plan. I would say, honestly, bare minimum, I'd give it a day at each park. Best case scenario, I'd give it at least 3 days, maybe even 4, and then an extra day for Volcano Bay, because Volcano Bay is an amazing water park. I'm gonna put also down in the description some videos that I've done about Volcano Bay, and you owe it to yourself, if you're gonna spend the money to go to a water park here in Orlando, Disney's are great, but Volcano Bay is amazing. This is gonna change significantly once Epic Universe opens. That's why we're here today. What are we gonna do when Epic Universe opens? We don't even have all the full details yet, but I can tell you this much. From what I know and have seen, Epic Universe is a minimum 2-day park, probably a 3-day park. So at that point, what are you talking about? You're talking about Universal Orlando being a 5, 6, or 7-day vacation just to hit all 3 theme parks plus the water park. Even if you decide later on that you just want to go to Epic and you want to skip these 2 parks, which I don't recommend, but Epic is going to be a minimum of 2 days tacked on to your Disney vacation. So can you see all of Disney and all of Universal in one vacation, 1 week-long vacation? No, not possible. In its current form, possible. Once Epic opens, not possible. So never fear, there's plenty more Epic Universe coverage coming as we get closer, as we uncover more details. I will bring you everything that I find out and we'll discover it together. But in the meantime, I wanted to thank you for coming along today. And if you have any questions about Epic Universe or Universal, please put it down here in the comments. Jennifer and I love to talk about theme parks. So we'll be glad to answer any questions you have or be able to give you our 2 cents worth. Guys, thank you for coming along with me today. If never lost, then never found. So go get lost.